هيا يا رفيق الدرب هيا نسلك النهج السويا في سبيل الله نمضي نقتفي فيه النبيا نبعث الحب أريجا فائح العطر شذيا نملأ الآفاق نورا وبهاء سرمديا يا رفيق الدرب هيا نسلك النهج السويا في سبيل الله نمضي نقتفي فيه النبيا نبعث الحب أريجا فائح العطر شذيا نملأ الآفاق نورا وبهاء سرمديا وإخاء صادقا عذبا نقيا أريحيا يا رفيق الدرب هيا خذ يميني يا أخيا.
بسم الله, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalam ala rasulillah, amma ba'd. In the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, indeed all praise and gratitude be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As such, we ask Allah to send his peace and blessing upon the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, upon his entire family, his noble companion, and those who follow him in his footsteps to the day of judgment, amma ba'd. Brother and sister, I'd like to welcome you to the Plain Truth TV. I'm your host, Abu Muhammad Ali Al-Ansari. I'd like to welcome you with Islamic greeting. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I hope you're in good iman and good health. Welcome to another episode of show, a reverse story to Islam. We are our brother Kinney. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam, Akeem.
How you doing, Akeem?
I'm good, brother.
As a family?
It's been good, Akeem.
Alhamdulillah. So tonight, inshallah, the brother will be sharing his Shahada story, his reverse story, how he became Muslim. So we'll go back with question and answer sessions. He will tell us a little bit about his background, where he grew up, so on and so forth. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
So tell us a little bit about your childhood, how you grew up, what kind of environment you grew up in.
I grew up in a single-parent house with my mother and really one sister. You know, I got more sisters, but I really grew up with one sister. My father had gotten some trouble before I was born, so in order to avert going to prison, he joined the Navy. You know, because at one time that's how they used to do. You know, if your crimes were not that serious, they give you the opportunity to go join with the armed services. But my mother had married a man, and basically she married the man for my benefit. Okay. So that I would have a father. Yeah. But he turned out to be a not such a good guy, you know. He beat my mother, he beat my sister, which was his daughter.
Wow.
And that was the kind of environment that I grew up in, you know. And you know, for a long time when I was younger, I felt guilty because he never beat me, you know. So I always felt like, you know, well, why not me, you know. And then, you know, later on I came and talked to my mother, and you know, she explained it really was because of my father. That's the reason he didn't beat me. You know, it didn't have anything to do with, you know, that I was just such a good guy. Or, you know, I was exempt. You know, it was more because of fear of my father. Okay. But
so the childhood was kind of rough.
It was rough. You know, it was, but you know, it was happy at the same time. You know, it was rough. You know, when you're young, you don't really understand. You know that man, you don't have stuff. You know what I'm saying? You don't understand it as much.
So what kind of background did you grow up in, as far from religion? What kind of religious background did you have?
Well, I grew up, I was Methodist. Yeah, when I was young, I got baptized when I was real young. I've always been inclined to spiritual things, you know, and even in my darker moments, you know, I still, you know, I went to different stuff, you know what I'm saying? I've always been a searcher, you know.
Okay, what does do that believe Baptist?
Methodist. I'm not really exactly sure on as far as their theology, or you know what makes them different from Baptists, or you know, I'm not really sure, but
so you didn't have too much idea?
No, I was like 7 years old when I took, you know, I want to be part of the church, you know what I'm saying, and you know that's what I did, you know.
Okay, so as far from belief system with Jesus, did you have any idea?
Oh yeah, they believe in the Trinity. I know they believe in the Trinity.
Son, Father, and Holy Ghost.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So, what was your first encounter with Muslim? When is the first time you heard about Islam?
Well, I was born in Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Okay.
But when I was younger, you know, we were going through the issues and we moved around a lot. But my mother ended up getting married again. And so we moved to New York, Long Island, and I was going to school with a sister, and me and the sister, we were friends, you know what I'm saying? We didn't talk on anything, you know, no other kind of level, even though I didn't really, you know anything about Islam then, but she used to wear the hijab. Her brother was in grade below us, and I remember they used to fast, but I never understood, you know, I never understood, you know. And then later on in life, you know,
it started clicking.
It started clicking. I started, man, she was Muslim. You know what I'm saying? She had, you know.
So that was like your first encounter with Islam, but you didn't really get it clicking. Like, okay, this is Muslim or.
No, I didn't understand. You know, I just knew that she dressed a little different. That's all I knew. You know what I'm saying? And she was a good person.
Okay, she didn't give you no type of dawah or anything.
No, you know, we were young. You know, we were. I want to say I might have been like 12, 13 years old at that time. And, you know, we were in a school. She was the only Muslim, you know, her and her brother were probably the only Muslims I seen there. You know, even looking back, that's the only, you know, two that I seen. But, you know, she probably didn't feel comfortable.
So what kind of, how did you come to know about Islam, basically?
Well, I had that experience, and then, you know, when I was growing up, I became worse and worse. You know, I started using drugs and getting high all the time. You know, I wanted to be the guy that, no matter what anybody else did, I wanted to do more. You know,
wow. You go to that stream.
Yeah, if they drink, I want to drink more. If they want to get high, I want to get high more. So I started getting in trouble, and then eventually, and this is the funny thing, they had a movie out. This is when crack really started just hitting the white neighborhoods. But they had a movie out called Cracked Up. And it was supposed to be something that, you know, make you not want to smoke crack, you know what I'm saying? But now I seen this, and my mindset is, you know, I want to get higher than everybody else. So I seen it, you know, and at the end of the movie, the guy ended up dying. But, you know, my only thing is, man, he looked really high. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? So this was a month before I turned 16. So I started smoking crack about a month before I turned 16.
Wow.
Yeah. And it took maybe a couple weeks for it to take me. I'm talking about take me down to there. You know, I was already incarcerated. But when I was incarcerated, I committed the third time, and this is a progression. You know, my even in, you know, my Islamic life has been a progression, and my Jahiliyyah life was a progression. You know, I was getting worse and worse in my Jahiliyyah. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting better and better in my Islam, inshallah. But you know, the first thing I got was an auto theft and a theft of property charge. So I went for a couple weeks to DYS, juvenile detention. Got out, and you know, did good for not very long, you know. And then I went and robbed some stores, you know, armed robbery. I robbed some stores. But when I was in juvenile this time, I'm coming off the drugs. I'm dealing with some mental stuff, you know what I'm saying? And you know, it's kind of driving me crazy. So they ended up, the judge, Judge Ross, I'll never forget, she's trying to look out for me. You know, she's trying to give me some help. But they ended up sending me to Bryce. And what they would do, Bryce, I don't know if you know, because I don't think it's open anymore, but it was like a state mental health hospital. And she would send me for an evaluation. And then after 30 days, Bryce would send me back. And Bryce, you know, Bryce kept saying, well, ain't nothing really wrong with him. You know, he's just dealing with some, you know, major depression. Major depression. But she would send me back again. You know, this happened for like 7 months. Where she would just, every 30 days, she would send me back for an evaluation, you know. And then at that time, they had a split sentence drug lord over there. And so I ended up being the youngest guy to ever go through that program. You know, she put me over there as a juvenile. Really, it was for adults, you know what I'm saying? I stayed like 2 months. But during that time, I read Malcolm X. And the autobiography of Malcolm X, Harry Taylor. And it touched me, you know, it inspired me, you know, and I still wasn't there yet, but it was enough. And once again, like, I didn't understand that the sister was Muslim. I didn't really understand everything that I read. You know, I didn't understand the part where he went on Hajj and he seen, that white people could be Muslims, you know,
Yeah.
because the only thing I was doing, you know, like I said, I was young, and I would run around talking about, man, I'm gonna be the next white Malcolm X. I'm gonna be the next white Malcolm X. You know, this was my, you know, I was inspired, you know, but you know, and that was really my first, you know, with Islam, yeah.
So what did you learn when you read the life of Biography?
Man, it was just, it was the fact that he was able to move people, you know, and I watched Sheikh Khalid Yasin, you know, when we get further on in, you know, I'll tell you where I got hit with Sheikh Khalid Yasin. But Sheikh Khalid Yasin, he said something real good one time, and really he was dealing with Malcolm X. But it goes for all of us, you know. You know, he said that, you know, nobody has made this Deen great. Nobody. Malcolm X, anybody else, you know what I'm saying? There's no disrespect to Malcolm X, but we have to understand that there's a law that makes us great through the religion.
Yeah.
You know, that we don't have any impact on the religion. But, you know, Allah put something special in that, in him, you know, that it doesn't matter, you know, even though majority of his time was spent in the black nationalistic movement, it touches all of us. You know, white, black, it doesn't matter. Anybody that reads the story of Malcolm X is not touched, especially people that come out of criminal background.
Yeah, they can relate.
Yeah, because this man came out of it, you know. So, but yeah, and this is what the change, you know, the transformation.
Yeah.
You know,
that's what really affected you.
Yes.
Okay, so what would led you to become Muslim? What is it that you learn about Islam that said that this religion right there is for me?
Well, this is what happened. I got out from the like I said, it was a progression. My Jahiliyyah life was a progression. And I got out in 1991. I think I want to say I got out like October or something like that. And I was supposed to be like on like a semi-house arrest. You know, I was supposed to be going to a fellowship house in Birmingham. I was supposed to be going there in Birmingham, Alabama. I was supposed to be going there every day, hanging out, going through classes over there, and I did good for a little while, but not long. You know, I ended up getting kicked out of there because somebody had seen me in a drug neighborhood, so they ended up urine testing me, and I got crack back in my system. Then, you know, later on down the line, I met a female, and you know, she was off into the same kind of lifestyle. You know, not really the crack lifestyle, but she was off drinking and stuff like that. And yeah, and it, you know, when I met her, it probably was a couple days before I just, you know, went back into it. Now it wasn't really the crack. Now it's the alcohol. You know, it just, you know, changing and changing. But you know, when I ended up, you know, I was in a gang. I joined a gang while I was in DYS.
Okay.
And when I got out, you know, I was really on it. You know what I'm saying? I was in it. Yeah. And you know, me and some more guys, and I'll never forget this because my mother had begged me that night, and my mother had got so accustomed to me being drunk, high, staying out, doing whatever I want to do, that she never said anything to me. You know, and
I said that one moment.
this one night, my mother begged me not to leave the house. She begged me. She said, "Please don't go." You know what I'm saying? I'm like, "Man, you tripping." Yeah. You know, I'm going. I don't know what you got going on. I'm letting it go.
Yeah.
But man, we ended up meeting somebody else, and what I thought was going to be like a robbery, and we're going to take some drugs, and it turned into a whole bunch more. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, my progression became worse and worse and worse. But this was it. You know what I'm saying? So I ended up, I got for those crimes there, I got 25 years.
Wow.
Yeah. And yes, and I did every day of it. You know, and a lot.
25 years?
25, the whole quarter. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he took care of me the whole way. I had no problems, I keep none.
How was the experience in prison?
It's prison. You know what I'm saying? It's not a good place to be, but I met some really good brothers, especially inside the Islamic Ummah. You know, and that's really the thing. If I couldn't get nothing else across, if my story doesn't do anything else, man, we got to help these brothers that are coming out of prison. Because, and the reason so many of them fail is because inside, brothers are tight knit. We on top of each other all the time. I stay on top of you, or I stay next to you, when brothers in prison see each other, even though we might stay right next to each other, when we see each other again, we assalamu alaikum, we hugging, bro, how you doing? What's going on? And I'm talking about we 10 feet from each other all day long, but this is how we greet each other. Yeah. And because of that close knit bond, and because brothers always on top of each other, when they get out here and the situation is a little more looser. You know what I'm saying? Not that the brothers are bad out here, just brothers are not, it's two different environments. Yeah. And brothers in there are used to being brothers on top of them all the time. Your character defect, bro, I see them. You know what I'm saying? I see them all the time. You can't really hide them when there's no, there's no privacy in prison. Yeah. So, we on top of each other, we help each other, but, that's the experience that I really got out of prison was that brotherhood.
Brother, let me brother.
Yeah. Yeah, it's it.
That's the one that really affected you to become Muslim?
No, the first prison I went to, I was there, and I was still on the gangbanging thing. But now some of the guys, in fact, a white guy that was in the same gang that I was involved in, he was going to Islamic Talim that Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm going to Talim. So I ain't really say it, but I'm like, man, you white. You know what I'm saying? How but he like, yeah, man. So, but it's Allah inspired him to go take me to another Muslim. Okay. And this other Muslim, he gave me he gave me a little booklet called Moderation in Islam. Okay. And it was a good booklet, but it was not all that. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't really like talking to beginners. You know what I'm saying? It was more like some teaching Islam. But and let me backtrack a little bit, because during one of those stints when I wasn't incarcerated, I was going to the Adult Learning Center in Birmingham, Alabama. And about 2 blocks from like Central City, which is like was a big project at that time. But one of my teachers was a hijabi. She used to wear the hijab. Wow. Okay. So like I said, it was a progression. A lot of steady showing me signs. You know what I'm saying? But I'm so blind I can't see. But one day I seen her giving the brother a Quran. You know what I'm saying? And he opened it. I seen the Arabic. You know what I'm saying? That what caught my attention was the Arabic. And I'm like, man, what is? I said, what is that, a Bible? Now he got a little offended. You know what I'm saying? But now she wasn't. She was like, yeah, it's something kind of like that. And I dropped out maybe a couple days after that. You know what I'm saying? Well, maybe if I would have stayed, But we don't say, if I could have, should have, would have. But I'm just saying, Allah put those people in my life. Yeah. So that when I did finally get to this point here, it's not so strange. Yeah. But and another brother this is back inside the prison. Another brother had let me see his Quran for a couple hours. Yusuf Ali. Had the Arabic in it and everything. He had the translation and the commentary. I just read it. You know what I'm saying? But now the next day, or maybe 2 days later, it was either the next day or 2 days later, I'd already gave the brother back his Quran, but I still had the little booklet. I ended up getting some trouble. So I got transferred. In Alabama, they call it C-51, it's like emergency transfer, But I got transferred to another prison, and I was put in solitary confinement. But the whole time I'm in solitary confinement, all I have is this one book, The Moderation of Islam. You know what I'm saying?
So you got no choice.
Look, I'm reading it over and over and over and over. When I come out, I know what I want to do. I know I'm a Muslim. You know what I'm saying?
So that's what really convinced you.
Yeah, and I went to me and the brother here. When I got out, solitary, I met up with one of my homeboys. My homeboy, we went to the law library, but they also had like a general library, reading books and stuff like that. So he checked the book out, and he's like, the guy behind the inmate that was working in the library. He's like, you want some? And I was like, yeah, give me a book on Islam. He's like, no, we don't really have them. You probably gonna have to go to the chapel for that. But my homeboy, he was like, man, I got a Muslim stay down here in the dome with me. A brother named Basim, and man, I used to go down there. He took me down there and introduced me to Basim. I used to go sit down there every day. I literally used to sit at his feet. You know what I'm saying? And just learn it. You know what I'm saying? A Don. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning it all, bro. When I went to my first Jumu'ah, brother named Ali was the imam. my first imam, but it was already over with before that, but it just consolidated. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know if it was the room and I couldn't see. I didn't have glasses on. You know what I'm saying? But it was like brother had a light on him, and you know I was on it.
It was like that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
And you know, there just so happened to be a Muslim sister that was working in the prison. You know, and I don't really know about how okay that was. You know what I'm saying? But at that time it was perfect for me because she said we were talking one night and she happened to be working myself and she was like, I hadn't took my shahada. And she was like, bro, what you gonna do if you die? You know what I'm saying? And I said, what do you mean? She like, well, you won't die no Muslim. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it spooked me so bad that I went right down and I was like, man, look, at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm down there at the imam bed to my look, bro, I gotta take that shahada. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But alhamdulillah, that's that was my progression.
Okay. So once you became Muslim, how long you been Muslim now?
Since 1993.
How many years is that now?
24.
Wow.
24 years.
MashaAllah, that's good. What kind of challenges did you face when you became Muslim?
Well, especially in the prison system. Especially in the prison system, a lot of people don't understand about the real Islam. Islam. The Nation of Islam has more of a hold on people's mind as far as like what Islam is in this. Well, yeah, really a lot of times in the West in general, in America, a lot of people they look at Islam and that's what they see.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so they be like white Muslim. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
Now they thinking
right.
something else. Yeah, that. But that was one of the challenges. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't that big. My biggest problem was actually living life like a Muslim. I had the spirit when I first took the Shahada. I had the spirit. I was bringing folks to Jumu'ah like every other week. You know what I'm saying? I'm bringing new people, but I wasn't praying.
Is it because you didn't know how to pray?
No, it was because I wasn't disciplined. You know what I'm saying? Because and you know how sometimes you can know something logically, but it hasn't hit your heart yet.
Yeah.
So I knew Islam was the truth, and I knew Prophet Muhammad was Khatam Nabiyyin. You know what I'm saying? I knew he was the last seal of the Prophet. But all the time my actions didn't really line up. So it was a journey. Yeah, it was a journey. And then
what make you think that was kind of like it's like your belief system is contradicting your actions? Why is that?
Yeah, but see, the whole time then, bro, I'm feeling like a hypocrite. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, I'm a hypocrite. I go to Jumu'ah in Alabama, really the inmates are the ones that, we selected the imam from among ourselves, and it's one of us that would give Jumu'ah or whatnot, you know what I'm saying? The imam would be giving Jumu'ah, and he talking about prayer, and I'm thinking, man,
he's talking about me.
I'm a hypocrite, but I'm thinking it, bro, but I'm so sorry, you know what I'm saying, that I still can't, I'm still not, I try and I might do like 4 prayers in a row and then I just fall right back off again, so it was,
It was a struggle.
Yeah, but then at the end, bro, maybe about 4 or 5 years before I got out, man, Allah just started dealing with me, man. I'm talking about he started tugging at my heart and it got to the point, bro, and I got so accustomed to people not seeing me pray that now I'm ashamed to pray. You know what I'm saying? It's like the opposite, because for like 3 years I didn't really associate with the Islamic community or anything like that, at another prison I was at. But now I'm kind of ashamed to pray. But every night I get up there on my bed, bro, and I pray. I be like, oh Allah, man, just give me the courage to make you pray. Give me the courage to go and get down there. You know what I'm saying? And I'd already start going to Jumu'ah and everything else, and then I did away with one prayer rug I had. I ended up ordering another one. When I got that one in, I made that prayer, that first prayer. I ain't missing none since. I done had to make kata for a couple of them, but I ain't missing none. You know what I'm saying? But
that's good. That's good. So practicing is kind of challenging. What about your family member? What kind of reaction did you get from your family and friends?
Well,
did you define how you Muslim?
Friends outside of the Deen, I really didn't have any because the ones that I had on the street, you know, I kind of just left them behind. You know, and some of the ones that I caught up with like years later, when cell phones and stuff hit the prison system, some of them I talked to again. I was like, man, why did I even talk? You know, even the woman that I was dealing with at the time before I got incarcerated, you know, I talked to her and I'm like, man, what was I thinking? You know what I'm saying? You know, where was my mind at? But you know, and so I kind of just left them behind. I let the past be the past. But as far as my family, my mother, you know, and my sister, well, I got 3 sisters, you know, but I only really grew up with one. One, she was a baby when I left street. She was like 3 years old. But I don't really know how she feels, but I know my mother and my stepfather, I know they've been very supportive. You know, they've been very supportive. Yeah, you know, my mother even got my name legally changed. You know, I just, so, and this was like in '96, you know, and you know, I talked to my dad one time. This is after I lost, started dealing with my heart, and I really got on the Deen. And I was talking to my stepdad, or my dad rather, you know what I'm saying, because he raised me. You know, he the one did everything for me, and still doing it now. But you know, and I talked to him, he was like, man, you sound so much better, you know what I'm saying? And he didn't really know what it was, but you know, I knew what it was. So when he said it, I'm like, man, it's the Deen. You know. But they just want to see me change my life out. You know.
What kind of impact Islam had on your life when you revered it?
Man, it changed everything. It changed everything. When Islam actually hit my heart up, even before then, even when I just had the spirit, but I didn't really have the actions that go along with it, bro, Islam changed me. You know, it cleaned me up. I felt like it made me more intelligent. I felt like, you know, I was in the mud for the Deen. You know what I'm saying? You know, I was a crackhead. You know, stealing, robbing. You know, I was like these guys that are around here. You know what I'm saying? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cleaned me up, man. You know, and my whole life has been a 180 degree. You know what I'm saying? I went from it seemed like every time something good was going on for me to shoot myself into the foot to, you know, now I'm getting blessed left and right, you know. And I don't even have to ask, you know what I'm saying? You know, brother that comes here, he told me one time, he said, man, don't ask from the people, you know what I'm saying? And Allah will provide you from the people, you know what I'm saying? So I never had to ask, you know, but Allah kept, you know, Allah steady throwing the blessings my way, bro. You know, you know, as far as life change, man, it's been totally transformed.
So basically, your around life is flipped.
Yes.
Once you start practicing, they did.
Bro, when I started practicing Deen, you know, brothers used to be like, people I used to hang around inside the prison system, they used to be like, man, you know, because they make alcohol in there too. You know, and they got drugs and they got everything here, and they be like, bro, what, you know,
what's going on with you?
What's up? You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, nah, bro, you know what I'm saying?
What's up now?
I said, man, I got too many sins already to make up for. I don't need to add on to it. You know what I'm saying? So, but you know, and the thing is, you know, it's an ongoing process. Because a lot of times, bro, I think a lot of stuff that I've done, you know, stuff even that I'm ashamed to even say, you know what I'm saying? But every time I think of it all, I make tawbah again, over and over. You know what I'm saying? I continue to make tawbah for the things that I've done, you know what I'm saying? Because some people I'm unable to right the wrongs that I did. You know, I'm unable to fix it for them, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how, you know, what I've done or what I've played a part in has affected them, you know, but you know, still, you know, I ask Allah for tawbah every time I think of it, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, it's you know, if they have to live with it, then I should too. You know, and that's the Deen, you know what I'm saying? We know that Islam cuts a man off from his past. You know, and you know, not only in a sense, okay, brother, I forgive you for the stuff you've done, you know what I'm saying? But it also Islam cuts you off in a way that, brother, I don't want that no more. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get high, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to steal from nobody. I don't want, you know, the things that I used to do, I don't want to do anymore. You know, that's how Islam, you know, cut me off from my past.
So what kind of improvement did Islam bring in your life?
Man, it improved everything. It improved my family relations. It improved my relation with people. You know, I look for opportunities now to try to do a little good. To try to make up for some, you know, to make up for some of the stuff. You know, Prophet Muhammad said that, you know, when you do something bad, you know, really talking about the minor sins, you know what I'm saying? Do a good deed and it'll wipe it out.
Yeah.
You know, so I try to always look for stuff I can help people with, you know, because I do want those blessings, you know, and I want to be forgiven, you know, and I want people to see Islam in a good light, not the light that they see on TV, you know what I'm saying? Not no terrorists or anything like that. The Islam, you know what I'm saying? The Islam that make people say, man, I wish I had a Muslim for a neighbor. You know what I'm saying? I wish I had a Muslim that worked for me, or I wish I had a Muslim, you know, friend, or you know. Because this how we want Islam to be. We want Islam to be clear to the people. We want
actually speak loud
and that's how Prophet Muhammad was, man. Prophet Muhammad, even with the kuffar, even with those people that did not believe, Prophet Muhammad, you know, the one I think the lady, I can't remember the story exactly. She was either Jewish or she was a pagan. I think she might have been a pagan in Mecca. But she used to throw her trash on the Prophet every day.
Yeah.
Every day. So one day she didn't do it.
Yeah.
You know, so the Prophet, he get worried about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See, this is
the concern.
and this is Islam, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That, you know, hey, bro, you did me wrong, but I'm concerned about you because and one of the authors of Allah is that, you know, people are of two kinds. They're either your brother in religion or they're your brother in humanity. You know what I'm saying? So you know, that's how we have to look at people. You know, and that's what Islam has made me want to do.
Okay.
You know?
To be a better person in the society, to better the society as a whole.
Yeah, most definitely, and to better the community too. You know, to be an asset to the Islamic community.
That's good. What kind of advice can you give to people who went through similar, you know, lifestyle that you grew up in?
The advice that I can give, brother, is that, you know, we have to understand that Islam will change your life. That's what Islam will do. Islam will change your life. Islam will Allah will make miracles happen every day. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, my story is not unique. You know what I'm saying? It might be unique that I'm here able to tell it. You know, but my story is not unique. It's thousands of brothers. That, you know, that are doing the same. They're going through the same thing. You know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Muhammad, you know what I'm saying, that those who disbelieve and hinder from the path, He makes the deeds void or batil. You know what I'm saying? He makes them no good. You know, they don't really do anything. But whoever believes in Allah and His messenger and barely is, you know, is the truth, you know, from His Lord, you know, then Allah, the word is, He'll make them ba'al. But it means it rectify everything, the physical and the spiritual. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is that, you know, people that are going through my situation, you got to study this Deen. You got to study this Deen. You got to find out about Prophet Muhammad. Don't look at the TV. You know, we have to really look, and for the Muslims, you know what I'm saying, we have to realize, you know, because I see it so much, bro, that some of us have gotten away from helping these people that are going through these situations. You know what I'm saying? And you know that we know even inside the Islamic community, you know, there's some brothers that are having issues, you know, and we have to help them too. Yeah. You know, we have to help them too, bro, because that's what, you know. You know, and all of us are not the same, bro. Yeah. You know, all of us do dirt. You know what I'm saying? But Allah hides some of our dirt better than He does others. You know what I'm saying? Some people's sins are more apparent. But you know, I really believe wholeheartedly Islam can change anybody. You know, and I've seen it, you know, through my years in prison. I've seen people that were some of the that you would think were some of the foulest people, and they get Islam, brother, and you know what I'm saying, man, it's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? I used to tell brothers, man, those are the brothers I love the most. Those brothers that were the ugliest in the Jahiliyyah and become Muslim, man, because some of them brothers are so beautiful. You know what I'm saying? But you know, in Islam and Allah will do it for all of us.
What kind of advice do you give to people or Muslims in general matter?
First and foremost, we got to help these brothers coming out the joint. We got to help these brothers. We got to have some kind of support system for these brothers, because these are like special needs brothers. You know what I'm saying? You know, Imam Hassan al-Banna, the brother that started the Muslim Brotherhood, you know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about his organization, I'm just talking about something that he wrote a letter to a student that was studying in the United States a while ago, and he told his students, said that, man, don't stay away from the sins, because once you engage in them, they're very hard to
get rid of.
Yeah, to come away from. You know what I'm saying? Once you tasted the sweetness of that sin, you know, it's hard to, you know, it becomes a habit very easily. But you know, the brothers coming out of the joint are brothers that have tasted those sins. You know what I'm saying? And they need that support in order to stay away from it. And I think that's why so many brothers fail when they come out. You know,
we have to have some kind of program to assist them.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Something set up in these Islamic centers out there. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily going behind bars. You know what I'm saying? That's good too. But brothers need help when they get out. You know.
That's good. That's a good idea. What kind of plan you have for that?
When I get myself, I'm still talking to the brothers daily that I was incarcerated with. You know, I'm still, you know, I've been able to help them brothers, you know, with certain things, you know, some videos, which is not much, you know what I'm saying? But now, you know, I'm telling brothers, hey, bro, you come out here where I'm at, bro, I got you. You know what I'm saying? It might be a struggle at first, but you know, just get out here. You know what I'm saying? And see, I'm not from Atlanta. You know, I came here because I seen the Muslims were here. You know, all the Muslim communities here. You know, I'm thinking, man, I not have no problems in Atlanta because all the Muslim communities here. You know what I'm saying? And it didn't really work out exactly like I thought it would. It worked out like Allah wanted to. You know, and maybe some of it was to let me see that, hey, man, everything is not as it should be. You know, out here. You know.
But you have to try to make a change.
Yeah, and it's on me. You know what I'm saying? That's why Allah let me go through it. You know what I'm saying? It's not on these brothers here that ain't been to prison to say, you know what, this is what we need to do for the brothers in prison. You know, but and not just that. You know, really, we as a community need to work on our deeds. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, man, we've been on the defensive so much that we stuck on defensive. You know, and that. You know, we need to learn how to just, you know, you know, accept some of the criticism that people throw at us and help these people anyway. You know, and help these, because, you know, that's how Prophet Muhammad was. You know, if you look at what Prophet Muhammad told the people when he first went to Medina, you know what I'm saying? You know, the Muslims, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, give invitations, accept invitations, give gifts, you know, feed the people. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Give the greeting, let everybody know everything's all good, you know what I'm saying? That's what we need to go back to. You know, that's what I think we're missing.
Inshallah. I think I know someone who is involved with the prison system, Imam Ishmael. So inshallah, when we finish, I'm going to pass up his number so you can get acquainted with him and talk about the projects about helping people who come out of prison. You know, sometimes we wish someone else do it, but if Allah put us in that situation, we got to take the step and do it.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's hard to point that finger when you know what I'm saying, when you sitting there. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with you. So
yeah, definitely. So you wanted to read some verses from the book?
No, I just said them, bro. It was the 2 verses out of Surah Muhammad. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about, you know, those that disbelieve, man, Allah. That deeds never get them what they think is going to get them, you know. But then once you believe, you know what I'm saying, Allah He'll rectify your situation, He'll rectify your soul, He'll rectify your spirit, you know. And that's basically it, you know what I'm saying.
Any final words before we close it out?
No, I appreciate this opportunity, because this is what I want to do when I come out of prison, you know what I'm saying. But I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, man, that, you know, maybe somebody see the video that is going through what I went through, you know, and maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he'll touch their life, you know, through something that I did, you know what I'm saying, or you know, or maybe he'll make them to understand that, hey man, there's always hope, you know what I'm saying, but you know, you got to grab it, you know what I'm saying. It's not that kind of miracle, you know what I'm saying, when you just sit back and you know,
you gotta
make me better, you know what I'm saying, make me better. No, we had to put forth some effort, man, and then you had to take that first step, you know what I'm saying. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. You know, to take that step, you know, and you know, inshallah, the rest will follow.
We really appreciate you for coming to the show. Brother Kinney,
thank you.
So we'll conclude here. سبحانك وبحمده أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت وأستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
السلام عليكم.
دستورنا القرآن من يرتضي أن ينتمي لعدوه شيطان